Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today's video is going to be, again, in regards to dry fire training. Excuse me. My last video, I think, was also the dry fire training, but for the Dry Fire Online, which is the online system that I use. So I have multiple systems, and I'll jump around from one to the next, just depending on how I feel that day, or how, where I want to practice or train at. Do I want to be inside the house, out in the garage? So a lot of it comes down to that. So today, I think in my last video, where I talked about the Dry Fire Online, I talked about this kit here from Laser Ammo. They sell the laser cartridges that go into your firearm. This one here is a kit that gives you 223 or 556, 40, 45, and then a 9mm round. So, and by doing it that way, buying it this way, you have pretty much all of the laser cartridges that you're going to need for your firearm that you're going to be using, or that you're going to be practicing with. So if you have multiple 9mm, the 9mm cartridge is going to work across the board on all of those. Same thing for your 40s, 45s. The only one I don't have in here is 380. So, but I don't do a whole lot of dry fire training. The dry fire training that I do routinely is always pretty much going to be the weapon that I carry on a daily basis. So previously I was my SIG, the P365XL. So I did a lot of dry fire training with that, but things have now changed where I'm going to be using the screen to come back on so I can see what I'm seeing. I've got the dry fire system set up on this. You can see the little orange plug here on the end that shows that it's set up to use the dry fire laser cartridge. So this is my Staccato CS 2011. So this is the firearm that I'm now using to do my dry fire training with. This is kind of nice because with a 2011, it's a hammer. It's not strike fire, so it's a hammer fire. So when you pull the trigger, you're going to get the laser is going to hit, wherever you're pointed at. Where with striker fire, you have to crack the slide to be able to reset the trigger. Where, I could do the same thing with this one here, with the 2011, resets my trigger. But I like the fact that I can just pull the hammer back when I'm shooting rounds at it. Shooting laser dots at things, so for me it's, getting on target with something and, just shoot, reset. And a lot of times I'll just sit here in my office and line up on stuff, and see how fast I can line up on something. So again, it's maybe the firearm sitting on my desk. How long does it take me to, pick up the firearm, present, get on, and get that laser to hit where you're pointing. So the dry fire training system, though, that I'm going to talk about today is this system here. It's the Strikeman. It says Strikeman Laser Firearm Training. So I think their website, I'll link it down below. Instead of trying to say what I think their website is, I'll link it below so you can go there and take a peek at it. But this comes in a neat little carry case, so you could take it, if you're going somewhere for the weekend or whatnot. I'll grab the camera and show you what's inside here. So in the case, it does not come with these. You have to buy the laser cartridges separately. So I think you buy the dry fire training system, and it might come with one laser cartridge. I don't recall, to be honest. So, but for me, again, I have 5.56, 40, 45, and a 9 all right here, but I also have 5.56, 45, 49. I have a 380, and then I've got a 9mm bore sight to do bore sighting, and then a 5.56 or 223 bore sight to do bore sighting. Little batteries for your laser cartridges. The way they work again is there's a little, that's where your firing pin hits it. So when it hits, you can see the little, if I press it with my finger, you can see the little red dot that shows up. So that shows up obviously on your target. In this, they give you a little stand. It goes out. They give you a little tripod to hold your phone because your phone's a part of it. So I'm just going to take everything out, and then I'll reposition this camera so I can show you. But this comes out. There we go. And that's the target itself. It goes in the stand. So let me reposition the camera. So the target, it's not real large. And again, for me, this is more of an indoor training, dry fire training. So we'll go ahead and slide this on there. So now you got your now you got your target. My camera keeps turning off the display, so I can't see what I'm seeing, so I apologize for that. Now your target's there. So typically what I do is I set this on the edge of my desk, like so. And the tripod, again, is for the cell phone. The cell phone is used to look at the target. Let me grab my phone. So I won't need to put any of these laser cartridges in my firearm because I've already got the one in there from the laser ammo company. So this comes off on the tripod and just turns around. So you can then attach this tripod that opens up. And you have this ability now to hook up your mobile device inside this little clamp. Like so. Depending on the case that you have on your phone, you may have to remove your case because sometimes it doesn't work great with the case on the phone. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to go inside of the app on my phone. Probably not going to show much of this in the actual video itself, but if I do dry fire, it's actually called Strikeman. There we go, Strikeman. So once the app loads, I'll kind of show a little bit of a review here. So if I bring this, you kind of want to watch what you're doing. So you know, you got to be careful because if you put this, obviously you can't put it right there because you're right in front of the target that you're trying to shoot at. So you want to offset it a little bit. So I'm going to move my camera over here so you can kind of see both. So I'm going to point that towards the target. And what you do at this point is you click on, I'm just going to click Start New Session. So firearm, I'm not going to go in and program. I got to program in the staccato, but for now I'm just going to set it as the P365 XL. Drill, I'm going to leave it as no drill, but you can do draws, unload, reloads. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can go through. Choose your target. So I have a single target. You can do multiple targets if you have them. Shot timer, I'm going to disable it for now because I just want to shoot at it so that you can actually see how it works. What is the range of the target from the shooter? So 0 to 20 feet. I'm going to say we're going to be about 21 to 40 feet away. I need to turn my audio on. That way you can hear the audible sounds. Select lighting conditions, says day. Select the session type. We're going to do number of shots. So when you choose number of shots, it says how many shots do you want to shoot? We'll say 20. You can do multiple sessions. So once this session is ended, it starts a new session. I'm just going to leave that disabled for now. You can save this as a template. So when you click on calibrate, oops, I'm missing something. It says missing session details. Please select the fields. I want to know the target. I thought I clicked on it, but I guess I didn't. So we're doing single target. Now calibrate. So when I clicked on calibrate, if I zoom in, you can kind of see it here on the screen. If I zoom in, let's see, with my little button here, it's putting the circle, excuse me, excuse me. It's putting that circle around the target. So you can see. So auto calibrate is on. We're using the gray target. So I'm going to go ahead and click start. Does a session countdown from 20. I guess I could have reprogrammed that to make it a little bit quicker. So once it's done with the countdown, this is when I want you to start shooting. So right now it's watching the target, shows the lapse time, distance, so average rating. So if I were to shoot the laser at the target, I'm just going to put one on here. It's not going to be very accurate because I'm not really doing anything.
8.
So you can see it puts that round on target and it tells you what ring I was in. It was 8. So that was pretty decent for not lining up on it. So I'm going to go back about 20 feet in the hallway and put some rounds on it and we'll see how it looks. So hang in there. All right, so that's enough of that. That just gives you an idea of how it works. So if I go ahead and click on stop.
Your Strikeman session is complete. If you want to restart this training session, say repeat.
So you can audibly restart the training session by saying that word if you want to within a certain amount of time, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to restart it. But the image here, I don't think it lets you zoom in on your accuracy there. But I think if you go to, if I click Save Activity and then go to View Charts, this shows your shot scores. So my first shots, first and second, were 8s. Third shot was a 9, 10s. I got a 9, 10s, and a 9. So it's kind of neat that it shows you that on that chart. And then I thought it gave you in the app, maybe I'm not viewing it. It's been a while since I've been in here. There's the feed. Does it let me zoom in there? It doesn't, but still, what it's doing is it's showing you on the app where your rounds were hitting. So obviously I'm doing a little bit low left on those shots. So I need to, this is my first time using the staccato with my Strikeman system here in the house. I got to fine tune some things and zero a little bit better, but that's how the system works. So it's relatively simple. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. You know, it just watches your shots on there from your phone recording. If I go train, we'll just start a new session. So that's the downside, is if you don't say, do it again, you actually have to go through this. You can set templates, so you can load a template each time. So you can actually set it for time. So I think with the shot timer too, if you enable shot timer, one shot, I don't recall what that setting will do. So I'm going to say number of shots. I'll just leave it at 10. Calibrate. So I'm going to click start. Again, a 20-second countdown. I don't recall seeing where that setting is, but I know you can reduce it so you're not waiting, 20 seconds to get back into training. So again,
nine.
So this one's just, it's a shot timer. So right now you'd be waiting, when it says fire is when you pull and then draw your firearm. Obviously I'm cheating. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. That one would actually...
Strikeman session is complete. If you want to restart this training session, say repeat.
So that's good with holster. So the downside with just getting this staccato with my optics and stuff on it is I'm having a heck of a time finding a holster for it. So I really can't do any holster draw training just yet with that one. So the P365 XL, I have got a holster, so that's a good one. Your firearms in your holster. This will say ready, and then fire. Pull from your holster, get on target. Shoot the laser, and it records it. And then there's a slight delay, and then it's however many times you programmed it in to do that. And maybe you want to do 10 sessions of that. So it's going to do 10 series to see what you're doing. So it'll give you an average, and then you go back and look and see what your times were. So, but again, Strikeman dry fire training. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people don't realize that if you've got a firearm and you want to conceal carry, open carry, if I could tell you anything, do not carry a firearm if you're not training. If you're not training daily or almost daily with some kind of training system, don't. You'll be more of a liability than a value. For me, just based on my own experience, when I first got my concealed carry to be able to carry a firearm, I hadn't trained at all. So the reality of it is here I went to the range a couple of times, and then went when I was at the range and shooting, I wasn't that accurate. I wasn't that good. It was like I was not getting the rounds on target where they needed to be. So it's like, and then again, pulling, the reality is you're going to have a concealed firearm, and if something goes wrong, you need to be able to pull that concealed weapon from its position and be able to get on target and be able to understand situational awareness, what's going on around you, what's going on around your target, the threat that's in front of you, what's beside him, what's behind him. You have to be able to understand and bring all that into play when you start to carry a weapon to protect you and your family. So that's the main or key reasons that you're going to dry fire train. So, and again, it's the tons of systems out there. This is the first one that, again, that I got was the Strikeman, which I really had a good time with. But then since it has evolved into cool fire training, which isn't really a dry fire system, but it helps with dry fire training. It gives you the ability for your slides to reciprocate through a CO2 system. Again, only works if they have your gun barrel. Like, I don't think the cool fire training, I don't think they've got the system for my staccato. They have it for the SIG, and I'll train with the SIG using it that way. But laser ammo training, dry fire online, Strikeman. So those are the primary ones that I've been using. And again, a lot of times people don't realize just sitting in around your house. If you're watching TV or, if you're not really doing much, if you're just chilling, sit there and, drop your magazine, load your magazine, drop your magazine, load your magazine. Just getting that muscle memory down of how to drop a mag and, put a new magazine in and, be ready. And then, just lining up on things in that room, and see, we have little knickknacks all around the house, little sheep, decorative sheep, or up above our fireplace there's a buffalo, up there, where I'll just get on target and boom, and just constantly going through that process. So when I first started training with these firearms with optics on them, I was horrible. It takes time to learn how to look through an optic where, when you present your firearm and you look inside the housing, that reticle it should be there. As soon as you're coming out and you're getting on target, it should be on your target. So for me in the beginning, a lot of it was presenting the firearm and then going, where the heck's that? Where's my green dot? And obviously you can't be an effective person with a firearm in a situation if you're struggling with just basics like that. So for me, it took me about a week, where it becomes muscle memory. Your body knows that, when you pull up your firearm and you present, you're seeing it. You see the dot. And again with optics, you leave both eyes open. You don't close one eye. I'm left eye dominant, right-handed, so now I'm cross-eyed dominant with my firearm. So the only thing that I had to learn with my training was that the reason I had a hard time seeing the dot was because of my left eye dominance, so with my right hand. So a lot of them say start to try to learn shooting with your left hand if you're left eye dominant. But for me, I just can't do that. My little trick, and it works for me, and maybe it works from some others, when I present and I'm getting my target on, I just have to turn my head just a little bit to the right. That's putting my left eye dominance inside the box, and I can see the reticle. So that's the way I do it. Turn my head just a little bit to the right. Some people might tell you that's not the right way to do it. Don't do it that way. But again, whatever works for you, that works for me, so I'm going to do it. If something else works for you, you do that. You do you. So, but that's it for this video. That's, oops, I'll knock this over onto the ground. Strikeman, their dry fire training system. Inside the app, if you go to their website, you can look at the videos there and the amount of stuff that they have inside the app that you can do. There's a lot. and a lot of different targets that you can get to set up. They have a pro system where you can have multi-targets and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into it. I was going to start talking about another dry fire training system that I've got, but that's going to be on a different video because it uses some other technologies and stuff that I don't want to talk about on this video. So anyway, I appreciate your time. I thank you for coming by and checking out my videos on my channel. If there's anything that I've missed or that you would like to see or you're curious about, you don't have a system yet, but maybe it's something I have and you want me to demonstrate that for you so you can see it before you go out and buy something, let me know. I'll do what I can. So, but anyway, I appreciate you for coming by, and we'll see you on the next video.